Today we are going to present about truth and peace, the importance of truth telling. We are your peace sisters of today. I am Michelle Clemente, a peace education advocate for Teach Peace, Build Peace movement and peace education at home. And here is Ate Sam.
Yes, hello, peaceful evening or afternoon. I'm Ate Samantha. Like what Cecilia mentioned, I am an industrial design student, a college student, but I'm also the Youth for Peace ambassador for Teach Peace, Build Peace movement. All right, so today, as what Ate Michelle mentioned, we'll be talking about truth and peace and why they're so important and how you can apply them also in your own life. So let's try and start from the basic and just define what it means, and then we can move forward from there. So if you guys look at the word truth in the dictionary, it could mean these kinds of things. It could mean actuality, meaning real things that have happened, events in life or in history. But it can also be a fact, meaning something that you state as true. It could also mean something that is accepted by many or generally as true. And I think we can say that truth is very important because people need the truth about the world in order to thrive. I think if you don't have any truth in yourself, it's hard to believe what is real and what is not. And it's also hard when there are times when we believe in false things or what is not true, because it ends up maybe ruining plans, or it can even cost lives. So in that case, I think truth, there's a great gravity to it, because it really has a central place in people's lives.
Now, we'll learn about truth. Then let us define what is peace. There are two types of peace according to Galtung, one of the founders in peace building. According to him, the first type of peace is the negative peace. Negative peace refers to the absence of war or physical direct violence. And if we apply that in our daily lives, it is the absence of child and women abuse, violent conflict, wars, bullying, and other forms of physical or direct violence. The second type of peace is positive peace. Positive peace refers to the presence of just and non exploitative relationships, as well as human and ecological well being, such that root causes of conflict are diminished. It means that peace is not only the absence of war or conflict, peace can be achieved also if we apply that in our daily lives and to the present condition of our society. Positive peace can be achieved when we diminish the violence in our ecological environment, the pollution and the other things, and diminishing the social cultural violence such as racism, sexism, and other structural violence such as poverty, hunger, lack of education, or anything related to the existing structures and institutions in the society.
Now that we have a bit of a background about what truth really means and what peace also means, now let's talk about why they're interrelated with each other and how they also connect with each other. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of this nonprofit organization, the International Center for Transitional Justice. They're an organization actually based in New York, and they advocate for justice and accountability for human rights abuse in America and also in different parts of the world. And what they said was, truth is the first step to peace. Now, if you're going to ask me, Sam, what does that mean? Um, let's try and think about times or experiences maybe that we saw people's rights or encountered people's rights being abused, or maybe people themselves being abused by others, or maybe by the government or other factors in society. Now, When people are injustice or when they are abused, many times it would lead to conflict, maybe them fighting back, maybe them arguing as well. But also there are cases when it leads to violence, things that we don't really want to happen in our community. Um, and that kind of conflict, that kind of violence goes back to the fact that rights were abused. The truth wasn't told and justice wasn't served. So, if we really want to achieve long lasting peace and social change, it goes back to upholding what is true, upholding our rights and doing what is right as well.
Another story that I want to share with you is about Khalil. I think he was around 9 to 10 years old when we first met him. He lived in a conflict area in the southern Philippines. In that area, cycle of violence, hatred, and atrocities have been going for a century. Massacres and all other hurtful or violent events. Having that kind of environment, Khalil grows up thinking that holding a gun and fighting someone is necessary to achieve peace in their place. In the screen on the left side, you will see that the minions are happy to shoot someone. This tells us that in his showing that violence had been normalized in their place and it's okay. However, after joining the Peace Hero Formation Program or our peace education sessions, Khalil realized that peace is not the absence of war only, but it can be also if we achieve. But peace can be also achieved if we live or practices peace as a way of life in our daily life or the positive peace. With that, he started to change his mindset, behavior, and values towards nurturing peace with himself, with others, and with his environment. It's an empirical truth that his place and fellow citizens lost many lives because of massacres and wars that have been going between government and their place. However, it's also true that violence is not the only way to resolve, and he can choose of what he can become. On the picture on the right side, you will see there. It's quite small, but you will see on the bottom of the picture there's like a small person who is holding a gun, and he put a cross mark on the top of it. According to Khalil, he said that he is now choosing. He is now protect. He's now choosing to protect his place and his loved ones through peaceful means and not by violence. Now, Khalil is leading a peace club with other friends and classmates in his community. In your young age, you can choose on who you want to become despite the negativity surrounding you. And it's always to remember that we define truth about ourselves, and one of it is that you are and you can be a peace hero.